Suella Braverman wants to stop people living in tents, right? So in an ideal world, yeah, that's brilliant. Everybody's going to have a home and a house, somewhere to stay. But in reality, it's definitely not working. There's already regulations and rules that each council's got across the nation, across the countries to stop people from putting up tents and living in tents. So why aren't they being used? Well, I think they're not being used because they know that Suella Braverman and the government are not realistic. They know that it's not going to work because they've got nowhere to put these people. It's all right her saying if they refuse help and it's a lifestyle choice. I think for a lot of people it's not a lifestyle choice. There's always going to be people that, yeah, just want to buck the system, want to live like that. Like tramps. Some tramps, that's how they wish to live. They want to go from town to town and sleep wherever. That's their choice. But to say that people living in tents is a lifestyle choice is completely utter fucking bollocks. And you cannot believe what she says. In fact, you can't believe what any of the three main parties say. You know it's a load of bullshit. And in which way has it ever improved your life? Just think about it. All right, so we get back to this issue of people living in tents. That's a load of bollocks. Nobody or most people don't wish to live in tents. What there is a massive problem, right? So if you statistically, about 1.2 million people leave the country a year to go somewhere else, and I think national statistics say there's a net emigration, time the people come in, of 600,000 people, all right? So 600,000 people, plus we've not even got on to illegal immigrants. So they say it's 52,000 up to June this year, illegal immigrants, right? So I think it's a lot more than that. Say we just say, for example, 750,000 people, right? So the target of building houses was meant to be 300,000 a year by the government. That, over the last 50, 60 years, has not been met. I doubt if that's even half of that. So we can already see we're struggling, aren't we, to find homes for people. So if you've got 750,000 people, and most of these people, don't forget, are single people. They're not coming with their families. So just say, for example, they're building 200,000 houses. Now, we've got to take into consideration our own people, our own families that are our daughters and sons and people that have got families that are looking for houses. We've got to take them into consideration. There's got to be over 200,000 of those each year looking for a house, living with their parents, living in a dingy bed and breakfast somewhere or a crappy old hotel. So we can actually take all those houses out of the equation. So how are you going to house 750,000 people? Right, we've not even got on to the homeless and the people in the tents yet. So where the fuck are they meant to live? Right? I don't think Suella Braverman's throwing all these facts at you. And there's another thing. Why don't you think they can build all these houses? It's to do with power. Right, you might say, what are you on about? Power. Well, it was fine after the war when they built the infrastructure, all the big towers and all the big cables going across the land with the overhead power lines, power in this country. It was fine then. It was a feat of technology that was outstanding. Built by British people. It's fantastic. It stood the test of time. But like anything, things evolve. Populations get bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it just doesn't serve the capacity. So every time you put up a new housing estate, you've got to find the power for somewhere. Where the fuck are you going to find the power? You've got to build new transformers, and then you've got to get the power to the lines. It takes a long, long time, and you've got to have the capacity for the electricity. This is one thing people don't talk about. Why aren't they building more houses? Well, a lot of it's to do, and they're not going to tell you this, to do with power, because they cannot get power to these places. So we're hindered by the power. We're hindered by, we can't build them quick enough anyway. We wouldn't be able to build them quick enough because we haven't got the labour. There's a skill shortage to build these houses. So already you can see there's a lot of bullshit being thrown out there, especially always by the government. Where the fuck are you going to put these people in tents? Yeah, so we've got massive immigration problem. We've got a massive shortage of houses problem. We've got a massive power problem. I haven't even gone into how they're going to power all the electric cars by 2035. It's fucking impossible. Why do you think Rishi Sunak put the date back to 2035? He's just firefighting. He knows it's bullshit. He knows it's not even possible. He knows it's not possible to build new houses, or not so many houses because of the power. He knows it's impossible to build lots and lots of electric cars for everybody because there's not capacity for A, the electric, and B, they're not reliable. And in the end, they're more expensive than running standard diesel or petrol car. You could disagree or agree all you like about that, but the government know it. So all this rhetoric about housing, about people living in tents, think again, because people don't make that. Most people don't make that as a lifestyle choice. You know, they always want to put the blame back on the people, don't they? They don't want to take any responsibility. It's like, let's pass the blame back on them. It's they're making cities and towns look awful because they're putting tents up. You know, those tents, they're only going to keep them dry. They're only going to keep maybe a bit of wind off them, but they're going to be fucking free. They're not going to stop the cold from coming through. They're going to be absolutely freezing cold in the winter. Who wants to make that choice? Yes, there's always a few that'll make that a lifestyle choice, but for many, the choice is they have no other choice. Thank you for watching.